Hello and welcome back to Jarvis Johnson Gold, the premium channel that is free. It is free, but if you're watching this, you're premium. Or are you? Cue the conspiracy music, because today I wanted to talk about conspiracy theories on TikTok because there are a lot of them. I, as you know, love conspiracies. I specifically love the tone of conspiracies because I feel like a lot of conspiracies are just saying something that is unprovable or a lie and putting like spooky music behind it and saying it in a fun tone. And if you do that, you can say anything. But I watched this person and it made me laugh. I'll say it. It made me laugh. Why don't we just jump into this? The queen of everything on TikTok. Their bio says it's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe. That's actually kind of based. America does have quite a few issues. So, you know, this is not where I have a problem, but it is a wake up sheeple type of bio, and I can get behind it. This is the first TikTok of the queen of everythings that I watched, and I think it's a masterpiece.
Does anyone want to tell me how in 1927 Universal Studios came up with this picture of the world, when the first picture of the world wasn't available until the 60s?
I like genuinely thought this was parody at first because I love the look of like, can someone tell me how they made a picture? If this is parody, this is the best parody I've ever seen. Does anyone want to tell me how Magellan like navigated stuff when a picture of the world wasn't even available till the 60s? I love that she describes this artistic rendering of a globe, a picture of the world. Riddle me this. How did they get that picture of Mona Lisa when the camera wasn't even invented until the late 1800s, huh? I think that's something NASA doesn't want us to know about.
Through none other than who? NASA, right? Almost 40 years later, how did Universal Studios know this is what the world looked like, y'all?
I love the insinuations and just the tonal reading of this. Through NASA, right? Yes, girl, you are on to nothing. Cook somewhere else.
Does anyone want to guess? I'll tell you. The reason lying about the shape of the earth and making it into a ball is simple. Because you can cut up any land you want and keep them hidden. Watch this demonstration. You tell me if this doesn't make fucking sense.
Okay, so there's a lot happening here. We are lying about the shape of the earth and making it into a ball. Who's lying? You know who. The big man upstairs, the government upstairs. And then she says, the reason that they're lying and making the earth into a ball is simple. You can hide any part of it if it's a ball, because you can't see behind a ball. What's behind the ball? Exactly. That's what they don't want you to know.
Watch this demonstration. You tell me if this doesn't make fucking sense.
Reason for lying about the shape of the earth and making it into a ball is because when you turn it into a ball, you can cut off any land you want and keep it hidden.
Did he say exactly the same words in the exact same order that she just said? Like word for word, bar for bar, dude.
You can cut off any land you want and keep them hidden.
You can cut off any land you want and keep it hidden.
Before we move on, I have to point out the caption here says the globe was created in Hollywood with CGI and the moon landing was filmed in Area 51. I feel like they're combining conspiracy theories. I have never seen like Area 51, flat earth, like the Hollywood elite conspiracy stuff all like rolled into one conspiracy. And you know why that conspiracy is a ball, right? Because you can hide any part of the conspiracy behind the ball. Sorry, I don't fucking know what I'm saying anymore.
For example, we will take this map, we will cut out a piece, and we will take this flat piece and wrap it around a ball. Now, this is where I tell you that this is all there is. You can only go to destinations that are on the globe.
All right, but what about this big seam here? What about the fact that you didn't hide anything? Also, it's easier to hide something if you crop a rectangle. Because when you crop that rectangle, you were already hiding the stuff to the right, and we didn't know that that was there. You didn't have to put it into a ball to hide it.
And when you consider it, it really is a plausible reason to lie.
Is it? Is it a plausible reason to lie? We're hiding all of the secret continents, like Africa and Atlantis.
I'm assuming most of you know about Antarctica, but if you don't, drop it in the comments if you want me to make a video.
What? Wait, what about Antarctica? I'm assuming you guys know about Antarctica. I know a few things about Antarctica. I know it's cold. I know they send scientists there for research. I know Mr. Beast went there for a video that maybe didn't come out. Conspiracy. Again, I don't know if it's parody. If I find out that it's parody at some point in this video, I don't think it will change a thing. I love that they're so steeped in the conspiracy lore that they keep referencing other conspiracies like we know at all what they're talking about. Also, the acting performance is incredible. Like, just her like manner of speech, it's all just like artistry to me. I think we're watching the LeBron James of conspiracy theories. So before the 1960s, we had no maps. Gotcha. Maps are man-made. Yeah. So is your TikTok, the videos that you're referencing, the CGI from Hollywood, all of the pictures are man-made. Does she think the Universal Studios globe is a photograph of Earth from space? Same reason there were globs in the 30s. Explain. John, I think you're onto something. There were globs in the 30s, and I need further info. I want to further illustrate this thing that she does that I call the Antarctica technique, where she references something as if we know what she's talking about at all. Because I am so far off of whatever wavelength that she's on. I'm not on the map, right? I'm behind the globe. I'm hidden from understanding what she's talking about. But before we get into that, we have a word from today's sponsor, Odoo. Odoo is a suite of business apps that covers all of your business needs. For example, maybe you want to make a website. Websites are very important for boosting your brand, showing off your work, and getting your voice heard. With Odoo, it takes only a few clicks to get started, and it's completely free. Odoo has unlimited hosting and support, which is great, but what's even better is that Odoo offers a free custom domain for 1 year. Odoo is much more than just building a website. It can help you run your entire business. For example, it's easy to set up an e-commerce shop, and it's fully customizable to fit your needs. You can change the visuals to fit your company's style. You can customize invoice settings so they send partial or whole invoices when needed, and you can even track your orders from Odoo with DHL, UPS, USPS, FedEx, and La Poste shipping connectors. And everything is integrated with Google Analytics so you can better understand your customers' behavior. With Odoo's customer resource management system, you can keep track of all of this in one convenient place. Let Odoo do it all for you. Unleash your growth potential today by clicking the link in the description and getting started with Odoo. Thanks to Odoo for sponsoring this video. Now back to the conspiracies.
There's a reason they don't want us to know that they know about the bottom of the ocean.
Okay, hold on. Who is they? There's a reason that they don't want us to know about the bottom of the ocean.
People say, like, well, we don't know anything about the ocean. We've never been to the bottom, blah, blah, blah. You guys, where does Wi-Fi come from?
What? Where does Wi-Fi come from? If we've never been to the bottom of the ocean, then explain the internet. Oh. What they don't tell you is that Wi-Fi stands for we're inside fish. Imagine. I understand that like most of the ocean is unexplored and that's like a big source of conspiracies. We have been to the bottom of parts of the ocean, right? It's funny because she poses questions that are wrong and then gives explanations that are wrong. So it's awesome. I heard the transatlantic cables are 700-year-old fiber optic data lines from Tartaria. You would be correct. Oh my God, I love this comment. Yes. What is Tartaria? Blanket term used in Western European literature and cartography for a vast part of Asia bounded by the Caspian Sea. Remember, everyone, fiber optic cable, 700 years old. Maps, 60 years old. Created by NASA. Bottom of the ocean. Cables connect every continent. Wi-Fi doesn't reach that far. Do you know what Wi-Fi is? I don't know if you know this, but even with the like most modern Wi-Fi technology, you need Wi-Fi nodes everywhere for it to spread on a single network, mind you. And this is implying that like Wi-Fi is spread throughout everywhere. And they're all different networks that are talking to each other. That's just not how it works, but doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it works. Some days I cannot get Wi-Fi inside of my own house, but sure. Also, Wi-Fi doesn't really go through concrete that well. I would know. There's concrete in my house and it fucking messes up the Wi-Fi signal. But sure, 700 feet below sea level, you know, that's where the Wi-Fi comes from. Okay. What bothers me about this is people just fundamentally don't know what Wi-Fi is or how it works. Over and over it happens where it's like, you don't understand how something works. And so you create this fanciful solution and explanation for how it works that is also not based in reality. Like wired and wireless communication are so different. We have different technology for communicating under the ocean because of how difficult it is to like pass waves through the water. Electromagnetic spectrum, not waves like water waves. But that's neither here nor there because they're talking about laying cables anyway. But then they're mixing up wire and wireless. So nothing matters, I guess. We are now 2 conspiracies deep and everything is already intertwined and contradicting each other. So I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I don't understand how one person can believe all of these things. Okay, so these are ones that, these are TikToks that I've seen before. We're about to get into the uncharted territory for moi.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. Of course I'm going to tell you to turn your location off when we hang out.
Oh, okay. So this, I know this trend. This is the I'm a blank. Of course, you know, blah, blah, blah. Usually people do it while like walking and then switching between different people with this trend. And I love how she's just doing it in her seat by herself because she can't go outside because that's where they'll get her.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. Of course I'm going to ask you, you're really going to eat that?
You could just be judgmental. You could also just be mean. What am I about to eat that you don't like? Am I about to put like the that's how they control you? They control your brain with that Caesar salad. Jarvis, don't you dare, dude. Spinach leaves are how NASA controls the Earth and how it cuts continents out of the flat globe. That's flat globe continent cutting theory.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. Of course I'm going to tell you to turn the news off.
Because, I mean, like, if you're watching the news on TV, it's like, you know, 24-hour news cycle, lots of humdrum drama and storylines that are not productive, you know? That's fine.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. Of course I'm going to make you take walks with me barefoot.
Huh? Wait, why? I'm going to catch something. I'm for sure going to catch something, dude. I don't want glass in my feet.
Of course I'm going to tell you everything man-made is fake.
What does that mean? Everything man-made is fake? Your TikTok is man-made. You are man, sort of in the species sense. Everything man-made is fake is a wild take.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. Of course I'm going to point out all the symbolism in every movie we watch.
You could also just be annoying. You could also just not want me to enjoy the movie. The thing about these videos is that they're always going to tell you what's wrong, but they're not going to tell you like what is good and what is safe to do. Because the second you say something is good or safe or normal, someone else is going to claim that's a conspiracy as well. Because it's just a Ouroboros. It's just a race to the bottom. Because actually everything's a conspiracy if your brain is working that way.
If dinosaurs actually existed, wouldn't their bones be everywhere?
They are. Yeah, they are.
So why is it that the average Joe has never dug them up?
The average Joe has, 1. 2, like, dinosaurs were people like everywhere where people were.
And another thing, bones can completely decay within 20 years.
Oh, she did use Google. Okay, so she trusts Google to a certain point. Right. Technically, the skeletons we find are actually bone because of, it's like rock and stuff, right? Like it turns into rock. How does it work? When an animal is buried by sediment, such as sand or silt, shortly after it dies, its bones are protected from rotting by layers of sediment. As its body decomposes, all the fleshy parts wear away and only the hard parts like bones, teeth, and horns are left behind. I also did a Google. And this is from, okay, just my source is the American Museum of Natural History. So to complete this thought, over millions of years, water in the nearby rocks surrounds these hard parts, and minerals in the water replace them bit by bit. Minerals from the water that flows through these hard parts replace the bones with minerals. When the minerals have completely replaced the organic tissue, what's left is a solid rock copy of the original specimen. And they say this channel isn't educational. But again, I'm not an expert. I was just reading from the American Museum of Natural History. But it's so funny that someone poses a question about something that they don't understand. And instead of seeking the understanding of that thing, they use the knowledge that they do have, which is usually limited. Like, I am not an expert in paleontology. And then they fill in the blanks with wrong information instead of consulting people who've done the science, who've dedicated their lives to this stuff. That's where we get into, conspiracy land. And then also on top of that, being really snarky and self-important about it, It's Dunning-Kruger in action, yeah?
And if you're watching this video and have found a dinosaur bone, I would love to hear it. I honestly believe they put these creatures in front of us and made us believe it because of this.
Because of this, and then it's a weird meme. So I have spent the past, half hour trying to find the origin of this extremely low res image because I knew it had to be something from the old internet. What I found was that there was a Photoshop competition on the website Worth 1000. This was in 2002, by the way. So this is a 21-year-old internet competition. You are to create an archaeological hoax. Your job is to show a picture of an archaeological discovery that looks so real, had it not appeared at Worth 1000, people might have done a double take. As always, quality is a must. You have 48 hours for this contest, so make your submission count. This photo was one of the images from the competition. And it was so good that 22 years later, people are still using it for as evidence of conspiracies. But to be honest, it took me a while, and I was on stream with people using the Wayback Machine and reverse image searches to find the original basis for this image. So it just speaks to, nowadays we see so much fake content with AI and we're on top of it when something is AI generated. But this is just good old fashioned Photoshop. It's long lost its context of being a part of a contest on the internet 22 years ago, and people just take it as fact. And that is all to say that you shouldn't trust man-made creations, because that's how they get you.
It's easy to connect the dots once your eyes are open.
It's easy to connect the dots when you don't see all of the dots. When you only know 2 dots, then you're going to draw a line between those 2 dots. And those are your understanding of how things happen in the world. And there are so many other dots that are available to you that you were avoiding in order to draw the line between these 2 dots. So that's why you need to open your eyes even further, open them even wider, open them into some anime ass eyes, right? And then maybe you'll see a few of the dots, or just do a Google search.
The Simpsons don't predict the future.
So we've all seen the viral posts about how the Simpsons predicted the future in various ways. And a lot of those things are educated guesses. A lot of them are social commentary. A lot of them are, taking a joke to its logical extreme. And because those things are based in reality to begin with, sometimes those things end up happening in real life. And there's a lot of episodes of The Simpsons. So of course there's going to be some overlap with The Simpsons and real world events that happen in the future, especially when you're looking for similarities. Queen of Everything says we've got it all wrong. Queen of Everything says The Simpsons do not predict the future. And I'm curious to see what she means.
I am so sick of hearing that The Simpsons predict the future.
Can I make a completely unrelated note to anything? Why did she record the first line of this TikTok in a completely different wardrobe and setting and still use that clip when she could have just re-recorded it in this setting with this outfit on? I have a conspiracy about that. In what universe do you need to keep this 3-second clip? Or is this a stitch from like a previous video she made about unpopular opinions? Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that. That would make the most logical sense. Occam's razor, all right?
They don't predict it, they replay it.
What? Wait. So The Simpsons doesn't predict the future. The Simpsons already knows the future. The Simpsons was produced in the future. And they're just showing you the past. They're time travelers. You've heard it here first. It is not the simplest explanation, like what I described earlier, is it's just people making comedy jokes about things that exist in the real world and taking them to their logical extremes thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And a handful of those things happen to predict events in the future, kind of. It's that they're time travelers.
This has all happened before, from one civilization to another to the next, and we are the next.
She's so I'm so tired of explaining that we're the next. We're the next civilization.
Are not predictions. They are telling you what they are going to do. Wake up.
Oh, wait. Wake up. Wake up. I don't know if she's seen like writers' salaries. They're not the writers of The Simpsons are not like the movers and shakers of the universe. I guess when they mention they in these conspiracies, they're talking about the people who make The Simpsons now.
Question. You guys, where do you watch The Simpsons?
Okay, wait. Let me answer that. Where do I watch The Simpsons? On Hulu, or maybe on the television, or maybe I personally don't watch The Simpsons right now, but I've heard it's gotten pretty good in recent seasons. Those are my answers. Okay, let's find out.
On a television.
Television. Oh my God. And The Simpsons is the only show that predicts the future because it's the only show on a television. There's no other shows. There's no shows before The Simpsons or after The Simpsons. And that's why the word television is a symbol that tells us that it's telling the future. I see. Oh, and it's over. I thought that was going to go somewhere else. What I'll give her is that's a bit of a bar. That is a bit of a bar. So if she threw that in a mixtape, I would have to say that's fire. I'd have to annotate it on Genius. I'd have to give credit where credit's due. But she can't just say something like that and then just end the TikTok. Thanks everybody for joining me on what a wild roller coaster this was. Appreciate you and stay woke.